Hi, this is Bryan.D with my final project recording for networking. I'm using XSplit to record because you didn't want the whole desktop and you wanted the window to be really large. So there it is. Uh, okay, so we start off the game and we start off the game on the main menu. And it says press F to host or H to search for a game. So H is of course being a client. Because you wanted to see the host game, I will choose host. I chose host on my laptop. I'm going to press H and voila. Um, we then press you then press fire on both computers, and it starts you off in the game, and you're instantly in the game. Um, Now I am not the best at this game, so I'm going to try and do my best to quickly get through these rounds. Everything works. Everything's data driven. I want to go through the some of the packets in a little bit, so I'm trying to be quick about it. I suppose I should probably show the client side movement as well. See, there's an example of me dying. Okay, so now I'm playing on my laptop. There we go. And now I'm back on my desktop. Okay. All of the physics are run on the host. The physics are communicated through hit serialized structs, which basically calls the onHit function for the relevant object, which I thought was a pretty clever idea, which allows me to circumvent a lot of the transmission of collision, of having to transmit information for the collision. I am getting close here. What else? Player one wins. Yay! Then press space. Then you go back to the start game. Then we can go again. Host. I use I broadcast to find the other, as in the client. Actually, I broadcast to find the server from the client. Yeah, I mean a lot of that will be in my written report. So each milestone verbally. Well, milestone 1 was data driven. I actually ended up going back on a lot of the things that I did originally when I originally made the program data driven, because I realized there were better ways to do it. Especially when it came to actually like networking it and needing to have the physics on only one, because I had data driven it with the assumption that I would do physics on both, but then I was like, well, actually, if I just do physics on one, I can really have the host control almost everything in the game, which it does, and practically the things that that the client controls are like the basic game objects for the mine. It controls, but everything else is basically just updated and practically a sticker on there. So there, I'm back in the main menu, and just for goofs, I will play as a client very quickly just to showcase that. Yeah, so that works. Okay. So I thought the lobby was fairly interesting. Now we're over right behind where it was. Unfortunately, I can't really make that much bigger, can I? There we go. Um, the lobby was interesting, and I think it actually really helps the whole experience rather than just going straight into the menu. Um, I also was pretty proud of my implementation of the on-hit uh, things. We will go. Uh, it wound up. I'll show you, for example, the mine. So I have mine data. This is one of my structs that I serialize. Um, it just has its type and the ID of the object. Um, so in mine though, as well as anything else that is is hit, um, it has it puts it on the out queue, um, and then this is the method that's actually called, and this is called from within hit data right here in the process. So I'll show you my my queues real quick. Here's my in queue. Um, it's very similar to the one that you had in your demos. I actually I didn't have this before today. I didn't have these, and I really liked them. So I put them in, and I think it works better for it. Uh, what else? What else? Uh, Game manager. Like I said, I'll show you for certain that. So the way that I split it up is no, that's not it. Uh, there is I use a Boolean host in the game manager class, and that determines who's host and who's not. And that's helped by the fact that I choose which I want to be at the beginning by just pressing a button. Because I'm assuming these are people, with LAN parties who are just going to be like, oh, hey, I'll host you. Or at least that's how my friends did it. And me and my friends did it when I was younger. So yeah, here's that very beginning area. And then after that, it goes into, well, not this, but this is this is where I get my my updates for servers from the network. Right here, I have just about everything. In fact, actually, yeah, everything that I have is put into queue except for here's the client version of that. I made two versions because you need to use P client or P server. Except for in here, the first things that I do to connect are not queue driven. But I feel like it would overcomplicate the queue just to have them for this as well. Quickly, I'll show you the out queue. So I have two push outs. I have push out for client. This has all of the things that it would need to push out. This allows me to have shorter switch statements. And here's push out for host. And then here's the out queue things. Serializable things. I have lots and lots of structs. I actually have two structs for the ship. I have, oh yeah, this is something I'm also proud of, and I'll do it really quick because I'm running out of time here. Stop that timer. So ship to client data, this is the minimum amount of data that needs to be sent to the client. all I do is I include the type, the ID, so which player, the angle the ship is now at, the X and the Y, and that's it. And then it calls in its process, it calls it calls an overridden update function right here, and it just sets the position and it sets the angle. Whereas what the client sends to the server is a type, the ID, and the ints for vertical and horizontal input. Yeah, and this allows me to also override this to server data, so I can actually do the real physics. And then I update client data to send it back out. And now that that's been 10 minutes, that's all the time that I have. Yeah, networking's pretty cool, actually.